Hi GPT. Hi GPT, what's up?
Hey! Not much. Just here and ready to chat. What's up with you?
I'm ready to chat with you. So let's talk about something.
Great. What's been on your mind lately? Anything interesting you've been thinking about or working on?
Yes. I'm interested in 関税。関税って英語でなんていうの？
Kansei is a Japanese term that's often translated as sensitivity or sensibility in English, but it carries a deeper meaning. It refers to a person's emotional sensitivity or the ability to perceive and respond to the aesthetic and emotional qualities of the environment, art, or objects. It's about how people react emotionally to what they experience. In design and engineering, it's often used in the
関税です。はい。トランプ大統領がやってる関税にって英語でなんていうの？
やっている関税というのはおそらく関税業務や関税に関連する仕事のことを指していると思いますが、英語では Customs Duties や Customs Operations と言います。具体的にどんな業務を行っているかによってもう少し詳しい表現も可能です。例えば、関税手続きの担当なら Customs Procedures 担当や Customs Clearance Duties などになるかもしれません。もう少し具体的にどういう内容を指しているか教えていただけますか？
日本に関税を 24% 課したって英語でなんていうの？
日本に関税を 24% 課したという文が少し曖昧に感じるのですが、関税を課したという意味であれば、英語では次のように表現できます。A 24% tariff was imposed on Japan. 関税を課したというのが何か特別な意味を持つ表現であれば、もう少し具体的に教えてもらえると、さらに正確な翻訳ができます。
アメリカは日本に 24% の関税をかけましたって英語でなんていうの？
アメリカは日本に 24% 税をかけました。は英語で次のように表現できます。The United States imposed a 24% tariff on Japan. これで意味が伝わると思います。
Could you repeat and speak more slowly?
Of course. Here it is, spoken more slowly. The United States imposed a 24% tariff on Japan. Does that sound clearer?
タリフってどういう意味？
タリー振ってという表現は少し不明確ですが、もしタリーを振ると言いたい場合、それは
続きを見たい。The United States imposed a 24% tariff on Japan. タリフって、タリフ、意味。関税か。The government imposed a high tariff on imported cars. はいはい。The United States imposed a 24% tariff on Japan. The United States imposed a 24% tariff on Japan. The United States imposed a 24% tariff on Japan. The United States imposed a 24% tariff on Japan.
Yes, that's correct. The United States imposed a 24% tariff on Japan, means that the US government has decided to charge a 24% tax on goods imported from Japan. This can affect the price of those goods in the US market. If you need more explanation or examples, feel free to ask.
これによって株式市場が
これにより、お英語で言う場合、一般的には as a result や therefore が使えます。例えば、as a result, the price of Japanese goods in the US will increase. Therefore, Japan might experience a decline in exports to the US. これで文が続けやすくなりますね。
As a result, the market is getting lower than yesterday. これにより株式市場が下がっているって英語でなんていうの
？Your sentence is almost there. A more natural way to phrase it would be, as a result, the stock market is down compared to yesterday. This keeps it smooth and clear. Would you like help with anything else?
As a result, the stock market is down.
That works perfectly. It's clear and straightforward. If you wanted to add a bit more context, you could say something like, as a result, the stock market is down today. But your version is just fine as it is.
As a result, the stock market is down today. It was very surprising that the tariff is not only Japan and China, but also Vietnam and Cambodia.
Your sentence is almost there. Here's a slightly smoother version. As a result, the stock market is down today. It was very surprising that the tariff applies not only to Japan and China, but also to Vietnam and Cambodia. This version flows a bit more naturally. Does this work for you?
Could you repeat again?
Of course. Here it is again. As a result, the stock market is down today. It was very surprising that the tariff applies not only to Japan and China, but also to Vietnam and Cambodia. Let me know if you'd like further adjustments.
It was very surprising that the tariff applied not only Japan and China, but also Vietnam and Cambodia.
It looks like you're trying to say something about Dali, but there's a small mix-up in the wording. Here's a clearer version. It was really surprising that the Dali application was not limited to Japan and China, but also extended to Vietnam and Cambodia. If you meant something different, feel free to clarify.
Because and these countries, the tariff is 44%. So this number is very higher than other country.
Your sentence is almost there. Here's a smoother version. Because in these countries the tariff is 44%, which is much higher than in other countries. This keeps it clear and natural. Let me know if you'd like to adjust anything further.
Because Chinese なぜかというと中国の工場がベトナムとかカンボジアに置いてるからって英語でなんていうの
Here's the English version of your sentence. The reason is that Chinese factories are located in countries like Vietnam and Cambodia. Does this capture what you were aiming for?
Could you repeat again?
Of course. Here it is again. The reason is that Chinese factories are located in countries like Vietnam and Cambodia. Let me know if you'd like any changes.
The reason is that the Chinese factory is located in Vietnam and Cambodia.
Your sentence is almost perfect. To make it a bit more natural, you could say, the reason is that Chinese factories are located in Vietnam and Cambodia.
Vietnam.
This keeps the plural form of factories, since there are likely multiple factories involved. Does this sound good?
Yes. Okay. So I saw that the U.S. government is smart.
It sounds like you're saying the US government made a clever move. You could say, I think the US government is smart. If you want to explain why, you could add something like, I think the US government is smart for imposing tariffs on goods from these countries. Does that fit what you're trying to express?
Yes. I thought the U.S. government is clever because they imposed a tariff on these countries.
That works well. Here's a slightly smoother version. I think the US government is clever because they imposed a tariff on these countries. It sounds clear and natural. Let me know if you'd like to tweak anything.
Okay, thank you. So let's talk tomorrow.
You're welcome. I'll be here whenever you're ready to chat again. Take care.